Well, good evening. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. And I'm in a mood. Oh, am I ever in a mood? Right off the top, people, did you hear the news today? I know it's going to surprise you, but our beloved governor, Kate Brown, has extended the state of emergency order. She says in the press release for so we can get federal dollars and keep our hospitals from being overwhelmed. I think she's forgotten that the people of Oregon are already overwhelmed and getting more overwhelmed. Talking to a guy in my office today, and he said his wife got up this morning and she was crying, just saying, "I can't do this anymore." And now he gets to go home and tell her that. So, yeah, that's the latest thing. We're going to be talking tonight to a couple of different people. A little bit later, an organization. I want to get this all right. So, Help Free Oregon. And we will be having a conversation about that. And according to the gentleman, there's something else we need to be understanding. So we'll get that too. We'll also be going to Subdermal Art Collective. You know, it's my tattoo artist and company. And they're doing something really cool tomorrow. And I saw it on there. I said, you guys got to come on and tell people about this because it's kind of, they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of can get a free tattoo that they choose for you. But then if you want a different one, it's a cool idea. You roll the dice. So I'll let them explain because they know more. A little later, we're going to go to Cave Junction, Oregon. Kathy and I did some travel and did some stories while we were there. And I'm going to show you Cave Junction. If you've never been there, it's an interesting place. And then we're going to go start with Kim Stark and Sarah over at Elements Health Club. Our show is sponsored by Elements and Chris Dental Family Dentistry. And Elements has 3 gyms in town: West Eugene, Springfield over by Gateway, and Oakway Mall. So we're going to be talking to them a little bit and find out about a new class and a new program. But first, we have to start my ultra cool, very neat, awesome open. Who puts up with this? That's what I don't understand.
Bring the lion out. Bring the lion.
Tonight on our show, we're going to have, hey guys, don't you think it's kind of fun that you get to comment on the news? There's a cost. Oh yeah, there's a cost. People come after you. Like, I think that's why this is so much fun, is because I'll see you at 5. And I want to give a little bit of love to the young man at the end there. You see his name. A guy who follows me does music, and he says, "Rick, I got the perfect theme for your show." So he made that for me. Isn't that cool? That's what a community's about. That's like people just step in, and he loves to see it. He's like, "Oh my God, my music's out there," and I get to show him off. And that's just kind of what fun stuff is out there. So thanks for joining us, you guys. How can we stop her? Debbie, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I know, keep that thought in your head. I'm wondering the same thing. But first, we're going to start off with one of the elements to a healthy life that the best thing you can do to protect yourself from any kind of disease is get yourself healthy. Get your immune system up, work out, make sure you're eating right, you're sleeping, get some help. So we're going to join Kim Stark at Elements Health Club in Springfield. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? This is going to be fun, Rick. Have you seen this area in here? I know you have.
I work out in that area there.
So it looks very familiar. Okay, so what they're doing tonight is they're doing a DecaFit preliminaries. So it's that big thing that Sarah's been working on. And this is tonight. They're going to come in. The people are just starting to show up. They're going to see what their times are, and they're going to go through the exercises.
So this is a series of different, it's kind of like it's not cross training. It's kind of like circuit training. She sets up like 10 or 12 different stations. You go with a group. We've been doing it on Saturdays, and it's super fun because you kind of challenge each other. You know what I mean? So if the really buff dude next to me is doing more sit-ups than me, and my wife's looking, I have to do a couple extra because, I don't want her looking at Mr. Buffo.
That's right. Well, and Kathy will be looking at you and telling you to get your booty moving. So we've got a couple people starting out right now. I'm going to grab Sarah. She organized this. So, Rick, this is the only one event like this in the whole area. So she did this for the whole region. So I want to talk. Sarah, I'm going to bug you now to talk to Rick. Are you ready?
Yes.
You're going to tell us about this because I told him how it's the only one in the region.
Right. So we are the founding DecaFit affiliation, and we are so excited for this opportunity. DecaFit is like the decathlon of functional fitness, indoor competitions and races.
So, Sarah, so what you're doing, so tonight what you're...
Yeah. So tonight what you're doing...
So tonight we are running a preliminary test. This is a benchmark test for our competitors to get their baseline score. So there are very specific movements. There's 10 zones, 10 exercises that they have to complete per time. There's a certain weight for women, a certain weight for men. And Kim can show you the different movements. It's really basic movements. Again, so it's really, everybody can do this, but it's a really fun way to compete against your community, against yourself. We're going to retest again in 3 months. We have a national competition coming up.
So, Kim,
Yeah. Yes.
have Sarah. Sarah's sound's not really great, so have her show us some of the moves.
Okay.
But you talk.
You're going to show us a couple of moves while I talk you through it, just because the sound's not great. So I'm going to have her show us one right now. So she's going to get set up. Okay, here we go.
All right. So
Weighted ram burpee. Okay.
And see, you guys, when she does this, okay, it doesn't look that bad, right? Except your knee has to touch the ground or it doesn't count. And it's super hard. That thing she has is like 22 pounds or something. And you go around this circuit and you do that.
500 meters right here.
Okay. Oh, so 500 meters on the row machine. And then on that, you can jump it or you can walk it. And you go over that for the allotted time. I'm talking for Sarah because her mic's not coming through.
Okay, 10 movements total. Thank you so much. I'm going to show the other ones too. Thanks, Sarah. Can you hear me, Rick?
Yeah, you're perfect. I think it's because you have those earphones in that she's not coming through.
I think so too. It's just so loud in here. So I'm going to show you some of them, Rick, right now.
Okay. Okay, so they're rowing. And then there's also that bike back there is probably the hardest thing in the gym. Kim, I'm telling you, that thing, that gets my heart rate into the red zone. That sucker's hard. Oh, look, there's Wendy. She got out of prison.
Wendy, Rick says hi.
Tell her I'm glad she got out of jail.
Rick
it's nice
says
to
hi.
see her.
He's glad you got out of jail. It's nice to see you. Yes, you're on it right now, though. So.
And that's her husband, Tom.
And she's saying you should be here, Rick. You should be doing this, they said.
I have a job.
You're a slacker. You're a slacker right now. They're letting you know. Rick's
hey, Kim. Don't there two little worms running around there that are related to you?
I'm going to see if I can find these worms. Hey, Elena worm.
So Kim has twins, a boy and a girl. And
say hi.
They're there.
Say hi. She's the only one with a mask on in here. Say hi. Show me your teeth. What are you doing in here? Are you playing in here? And her brother is over here. This is their Deca fit, right?
Oh yeah, bouncing against the walls. That's a lot like his mother, I see. So Kim,
I wonder where they got that.
So this is the timing thing is going to go for a couple of weeks, and then after that, people will go in on with the classes and compete against themselves, but also other people, as I understand.
Right. That's what I understand too. That's what she said. And I know Sarah got the ball rolling on this quite a few months ago. So this is a big deal. She's really excited tonight to have these people here.
Well, I think it's good because it'll keep, somebody's talking about the ski machine. So.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Look at that. So they had, and there's a ton of people that come to that class. Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
So coming up on the 4th, we're taking, just so you know, you're taking next week off because Bill, you and me, we're all taking next week off. Yeah. So when we come back on the 4th, you're going to be doing, are you dancing? You can't. Okay. You can't, we're going to be doing some New Year's resolution stuff, like kind of helping people get back into shape, right? For the new year.
Yes. Yep. And we're going to talk about how there's so many things that come out every day, Rick. And one of the ones I saw just today was pneumonia, of all things. Regular exercise also decreases your chance of getting pneumonia. I mean, it's just related to so many things. So we're going to talk about the new year and all health stories, all related to, not all related to exercise, but just, lifestyle changes.
Okay. Kim Stark, thank you very much. It's good seeing you.
I'll let you guys wave. All right, I'll let them get back to it. Bye.
All right,
Rick.
see you, Kim. Bye-bye. So again, you guys have gyms at Oakway, out at West 11th, and one in Springfield right over by Game Farm. That's the one that I go to. So yeah, that's a fun class. And they also have these watches you can wear that'll monitor your heart rate and kind of tell you how you're doing it. And you do it with other people. So we have like oh, there's a bunch of us on there. And so we all know how each other are working out. So it kind of makes you feel like you need to work out harder, or sometimes you realize you're working out too hard. So it's another thing to check out. Just give them a call, find out more about it, and Sarah can explain anything you need to know. They also have daycare, childcare, swimming pool, lap pool. I swam laps this morning. I did 2,000 yards this morning, and I was outside, and it was so nice because it was fresh air. It wasn't raining, and well, it matters because you're wet anyway. So I guess that doesn't really matter. Other things going on. Oh, Subdermal Art Collective, just down the street from me. Beautiful building, beautiful place, beautiful men and guys, and everybody there working is awesome. Jacob and Jonathan Wade, how you guys doing?
Good. How about you, man?
I'm good. So tell me about what this is you're doing. I thought this was, I saw it on Facebook and I thought, I got to do something with these guys. This sounds pretty, I think it's clever.
So first, it's not free.
Okay. Well, I knew you'd fill in the blanks for me. See, that's what you're there for. But see,
I had to fix that at least.
Now they're going, oh, it's free. So tell people how this works, John. You guys.
Okay, so it's a get what you get tattoo day. So basically, there's 3 dice. You pay $200 to roll the dice. So there'll be 3 different elements that pop up on the dice, and the artist will actually draw them right there on the spot for you with those 3 elements of the design included. If you don't like what's on the dice, you can pay another $50 to do a re-roll.
I saw that. That's cool. So you can go, I don't know if I want that. And so is this the whole tattoo or just an element of the tattoo?
So you're taking 3 different elements. So it could be like a heart, a wing, and say a fairy, or a heart, wing, and a panther, or something like that. You know, I don't even actually know what's on the dice specifically. It's one of the new artists that came up with the idea.
Have people done this other places? I've never heard of that before.
I guess it is a thing. He actually messaged us just a little bit ago, and he's got 4 more dice. So there's potential that this is going to happen again in the future with potentially different designs as well.
So for you guys, what's the whole get? Is this just to get people in the door to kind of see what you do, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's something fun. I want to see who's willing to pay $200 and just end up with whatever they end up with.
Jonathan, I think that's the fun part about it, because I mean, especially me, I kind of went a little bit overboard planning everything I was going to have. I was real specific. But if you had a portion of your body, you just said, I want to see what someone else would do. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's super rad.
And a lot of people, I think for me, I get to a point where you go, okay, I don't have any more ideas anymore. And why not just do something? And isn't that kind of popular now, is to not so much themes as much as just that old kind of style of things just on your body?
Yeah, the next one, we might actually put a curtain up and just have you stick your arm through it.
You don't even get to see.
Yeah, you don't even get to see. We're just going to put it on you.
Yeah, so you're going to put me behind a curtain, then I come out with some butt on my arm or something, right? Yeah, that's real nice. Jacob, you guys are really good about it. So when is this, and how does it work tomorrow? Is this tomorrow night?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're usually open 12 to 6. If it's busy, obviously some of the guys will stay a little bit longer. But yeah, it's just for tomorrow. So
from 12 to 6, is that all you're doing tomorrow? No other appointments?
Well, me and Jonathan, our schedules are booked out super far. So I think we're going to have 3, maybe 4 artists here that are actually going to be doing the event.
So how do they get in touch with you if they want to do that? Is this like a drop-in, or is this something you schedule?
Yeah, we're taking walk-ins, but you can also schedule in advance as well.
Okay. All right. Give me your number.
So the shop number is 541-654-5079. Or you can message us directly through Instagram, Facebook, all those good social networks.
Okay, so just go to Subdermal. I just did that. I sent you a message so you can ignore it because I got a hold of you.
Okay.
But that's how you guys can get a hold of them and find out more about what's going on. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick.
Man. Have a good
Hey,
night.
have fun, man. And hey, Merry Christmas to both of you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
And I was very touched by your article about your brother. It was really cool. I liked what you wrote, and I thought it was really powerful. So
thanks, Rick.
He's remembered. Keep going.
Always. Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right. That sounds fun. So roll the dice and you get what comes up on the dice, or you pay a little more. I love that. All right. Bring you on. Makana.
If you're not careful, I might catch up with you in tattoos.
You got to start. I'm telling you. I'm 62, so you got a ways to go before you do that. So Makana, you're with a group called Help Free Oregon. What is Help Free Oregon?
Yeah, Help Free Oregon just started this actually about 3 weeks ago, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to liberate the people that are just so tired of all of these draconian measures that were implemented in response to COVID, and especially the mask mandate. So what happened is, over the past 2 years, I just decided that I just needed to take action. You see, just people that are so fed up with this. Got a bunch of family together, and we decided that we wanted to start a movement in conjunction with the ones that are already out there, which they're doing great work. But the difference is, man, we're going right to the people, and we're saying, you know what, the action that we want them to take is we're not going to sit around and wait for Kate Brown to make a decision to reverse the mask mandate. We're saying that if you don't want to wear a mask, and by the way, we're not anti-mask. In other words, we're not anti for those people that actually want to wear one. That's fine. We have no issues with that. We have issues with being told that we have to wear one even though we don't want to. Okay, so we're just saying, hey, if you don't want to, let's create a situation where you feel more comfortable walking into a store, walking into wherever, and collectively just taking our mask off. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple movement.
What do you say to people who say that you're putting other people at risk when you do that?
Well, you know what? I think it depends. You can cherry pick all of the statistics you want to support whatever side you're on. I don't think there's any studies that have been done. You can go to the WHO website, CDC website, Oregon Health Authority, and you point specifically to a study that says that masks are effective and they're slowing the spread. What you can find, I believe, on the CDC website is a comparison of masks, but not anything that says, okay, masks have reduced the spread of COVID. I mean, if they were effective, why are we still in this situation almost 2 years later?
So what do you think of this new decision that she had today? I had no idea this was coming down, and all of a sudden I saw it, and it just a fire started in me, and I had to go back and clean up my title on my my post because I was kind of angry. What do you think of that, of extending the state of emergency for the state of Oregon?
It basically plays into what we're trying to do. And with every new variant that comes down the road, all right. I mean, Oregon's probably one of the strictest as far as the mandates are concerned, and there's no end in sight. And I think people are really frustrated with that. So the emergency measures get pushed back. However far, what'd you say, to June?
Yeah.
There's, we had Delta, we've got, Omicron. Next, we'll have triathlon, and then, whoever name the variant, depending on what day it is. And so we don't see any end in sight as far as the mask mandate's concerned.
If you could sit down with the governor and have a conversation, what would the first thing you'd ask her be?
Well, I mean, first of all, I would want to know how they came up with the decisions that they do. Because think about this, Rick. Think about how ridiculous the rules are. Okay, we're not anti-mask. We're anti-stupid, and we're anti-ridiculous as far as the mask rules. You can walk into a fully packed restaurant and nobody's wearing a mask. So tell me how that's making any sense. You can go to an indoor sporting event where all the athletes, all the coaches, all the officials, and even probably the PA announcer, nobody's wearing masks, but the fans are. So if this mandate made any sense, people might be more open to it. But I just want to know how she comes up with the decisions she does, and what supporting evidence does she have that it works.
Well, it did say, one of the comments here is it's about collecting federal money. It did say in the press release that we'll get federal dollars by doing this. And I think I wonder right now And just in all fairness, she also said it's to keep the emergency hospital beds down, which the reason we don't have enough hospital beds is because of decisions that the governor has made in the past about not using federal dollars for hospital beds. I heard that with Bill London recently.
Okay.
So in terms of, I wonder if you polled Oregonians and you said, Oregonians, would you rather have federal dollars to dump into X, Y, and Z, or your freedom back? Which would you choose? And I have a feeling we're getting real close to a 50-50 here, or we might have passed 60-40. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think when you put people, especially right around the holidays like this to announce this is coming through, I think people are just done.
Yeah, there becomes a tipping point. I don't think we're there yet. And the reason I say that is it's amazing how many people, we just had kind of a little rally out in the corner of the intersection of Valley River Center this past weekend. Man, talk about a ton of support. But it's amazing how many people you see wearing masks inside their cars. And so they're being scared to death, right, is my opinion. And so the tipping point, what's the tipping point going to be, and what's it going to look like when it finally happens? I think one of the other things, Rick, is that those that don't want to wear masks, but they feel like they have to, there's some anxiety walking into a store all by yourself without one.
Right.
So at what point is someone going to say enough is enough? I feel a lot more comfortable now, and I'm just going to try it.
Right.
So,
so how do people get a hold of you if they want to know more about what you're doing? We're having next month, the first weekend that we're having Free Oregon.
Yes. Yeah.
Organization out there. And I think people are just trying to figure out, how do we get the legislature to do something about this? Because this is, it's just insanity. Because you can't keep this emergency order, as I understand and was told and have looked into, this was if you had an earthquake, a tornado, it was to be like for a month or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something to get this done. It wasn't for this continued on and on for year after year after year. I mean, this is I am literally speechless. I don't even know. I can't believe we as Oregonians are putting up with this.
Yeah. Like, at what point does the cure become worse than the disease? And I mean, you asked what would you bring up with Kate Brown? I'd ask her that as well. But you're right. It's there's no end in sight, and I think that's really, really frustrating, especially with the fact that you've got 45 other states that are fairly open. And Oregon, again, is one of the strictest. In fact, Oregon was the only state that had an outdoor mask mandate when it was re-implemented back in, I think, August. Now I think that's changed. The
other thing I don't understand with Omicron is that what I'm reading is they say that it's mild.
Yeah.
For the most part. They keep talking about hospitals getting filled up, and maybe that happens too. I don't know. But if it's mild, I don't know how that is. And then you're hearing that so far only one person in the United States, this has been, and it's spreading really quickly, which is disturbing, but only one person has died so far in the whole United States. Right. And before that, I'd heard that only one in the world. It was on the HOA, and somebody was going, "Where you get your numbers, Rick?" The WHO. I get it from the WHO. The WHO. And they were saying one person had died. So I'm thinking, and I hate when people act like you're not taking this seriously. There's a difference between taking it seriously and doing your homework and going, now, wait a second, something's not adding up here.
Right.
Because, and then if I think people in Oregon, the problem with the hospital beds is then you've mandated on hospital workers that you have to get this shot.
Yep.
And so they fire employees because they don't have the shot. So you don't have enough people. So now we lock down. I mean, it's like holding a thumb on top of people in Oregon, and they can't get out from under it. And if you do that to people too long, you're going to have problems.
Yeah. The hospitals is a interesting situation because of the fact of the vaccine mandates. I mean, I personally know several nurses that have been fired. So now you've got a lack of staff, a lack of beds. And I think that whole thing is just being overplayed. as far as hospitals being filled up. So I mean that might be the case, but why? So
Yeah, I feel I'm kind of at a loss. It's like I just want to say what I personally, I would, if I was a person in this audience, I think the best way to do this, I wouldn't cock the Kate Brown. I would be writing every legislature, every legislator, every
right,
lawmaker, and telling them, you need to stop this now.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
your job. It is their job. And I don't think, like human beings, we don't look long term. But if they don't start looking long term at the future, we're going to have the most interesting election you have ever seen in your
I
life.
agree.
Because if they don't think this is not going to come back to haunt them, and I'm not just talking Democrats, I'm talking all the people who are in there who are not doing anything, Republicans, Democrats, anybody who's
Right,
not
right.
going to bat for this in a big way and they're supposed to make coalitions between people. So we should have our Republicans going to Democrats and Democrats coming to Republicans, working together and coming up with a solution that will protect the hospitals, protect people, and get us out from under this BS.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what
their
it is.
job. That's why we elected him. And if you guys can't do it, then I guess coming in May and November, we'll just change that for you.
Right, right. Well, and also, in regards to Kate Brown's decision to extend this, at what point, we've got 74, I believe, 74% of Oregonians are fully vaccinated. And then there's a 99.9% survival rate of those that are like 50 and younger. What else do you want? Do we want 80% fully vaccinated, 90%, 100%? I mean, I'd love to ask, what are the parameters for, removing the mandate?
Yeah, we used to have, remember they had numbers or
Yep.
we'd have a goal. And now we haven't had goals forever. And maybe that's the fault of us as Oregonians is we have not demanded to see the goalpost. And maybe that's but see, the only way to do that is get to the legislature to go in there and do that because the courts are all, not going to do it.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's so frustrating. And I think people in Oregon just probably took a collective gasp today when that decision came out. And I feel horrible for people here. Oh yeah, here's Alan. I want this up here too. Mental health is being messed with people's minds and anxiety and our kids and our families and everything. But I think, yeah,
you got to really feel for the kids, especially the kids, the school kids. Wearing masks. How does it affect them in their learning ability, in their social skills? Just feel terrible for them.
Makana, thank you for what you're doing, buddy. And let people know you can go in here on the comment section and put people how to get a hold. I know your website got jerked down.
Got shut down today. So
another story. We'll hope the story stays up. We'll see what happens. All right. So thank you, my man. I appreciate you coming on.
Right on. Thanks, Rick.
You're welcome, buddy. All right, you guys, that's how it works. Oh man, it's crazy stuff. I'm gonna pull up another story. I know we've got something going on here, but Elements, Brian, one of the owners over there, he loves to show people positive news and something different about where we live and the places we go. And we're going to be doing that when Kathy and I move to Montana. We'll be bringing you pictures and stories of places there to brighten your day. I'll still be doing this as well. We'll still be stirring the poop and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be bringing you some stuff like this. So a couple of years ago, we went to Cave Junction, Oregon, did a story. And so I think while we're all frustrated, we need to take deep breaths. Okay. Take some big, deep breaths. And then we're going to watch this story about how amazing we are as people when we're free. And this is what can come again. We can be this again. Hi, you guys. We are in the Illinois Valley. We are in Cave Junction, Oregon.
Let's see, we're called colorful, we're called quirky, the Wild West.
There are a lot of misconceptions about rural Oregon.
Well, my wife lived in Rogue River when we met, and she didn't want to move out here because it was scary. She's lived here now and she wouldn't live any other place.
Then we came down 199 and then they're like, where are you taking me? Looking around because it's just trees, no more houses.
Counterculture.
People just have this assumption that if you're from a rural area like Cave Junction, you're wearing furs and...
I mean, this is an area where the cannabis growing was guerrilla style 50 years ago.
There's a lot goes on out here that people don't know about.
We're centrally located. We're an hour from the beach. We're an hour from the lake.
I love the outdoors so much that I actually live off-grid in the wilderness. 5 miles is my nearest neighbor.
Good, strong community out here. The hard thing is we are a tourist community. Most of our attraction is because of the Oregon Caves. If people don't know about us, we don't get that clientele, and that can put me out of a job.
This area, not only its incredible community and the artistry and some of the incredible people who are in the area, but also just the area's natural beauty. It's an incredible place with all sorts of natural resources. We have the Oregon Caves, we have the tree houses, we have the redwoods.
Internet connectivity. Here in the rural areas, you've got pockets that have virtually no connectivity.
We have no phone service, we have no electricity other than the generator. So when I get home, it's peaceful.
Or if you do have it, it's just barely enough. It's tough to do business. It's tough to be connected to the rest of Oregon the way we're supposed to, and which is one of our projects areas we work on and we're still working on.
Josephine County has gone through a lot of really serious issues with the removal of the ONC forest land funding. That really created some significant blows to our rural services. Our schools have been severely hit. We went through multiple years where we had basically no law enforcement.
Well, RDI, they've been great partners over the year. They're a huge resource for all of Oregon. We had them work with us in 2016 when we did our 2020 community visioning and strategic plan. Brought in hundreds of people, big community workshop gatherings, small focus groups, and those folks, we've worked with them for the better, over 10 years on and off.
There's a lot to be said about the area. And it's never going to be a large metropolitan area.
But you don't want it to be.
So you've kind of got the best of all worlds.
2, 3. And there's just a million things to do out here that people don't know about, and they live in the city, and their life kind of stays in the city. And if we can get more people aware of it, that can help us keep our local communities strong and keep everybody working and doing good things.
No, to dream doesn't mean you have to leave. You can do anything you set your mind to, but you could stay, like in my case, I could stay in Cave Junction, get a degree and open a business here, and then if I target it right, I'd probably be just fine.
Small rural areas can be innovative hubs, and a lot of great things can come out of them. So people come, from all the big cities. They come from Portland, they come from Seattle, they come down here and they think, oh my gosh, this is amazing. If it wasn't for those of us who are in these areas making this home every day, they wouldn't have a place to come to. We wouldn't have the services, the hotels and the tourism and things like that for them to come enjoy.
I've lived in big cities before, and it's just too much a lot of the time. And so places like this, it's really nice because you can go into town and socialize and stuff, and there's tons of events and stuff you can do, but it doesn't feel like there's this constant you always have to be doing something. You can just go out and just sit in nature, and it's...
You need to take time to smell the roses, you need to watch the sunrise and the sunset, and just enjoy life. Have that second cup of coffee. Come in and sit down, put your feet up and rest.
And you gotta learn to get along with everybody sooner or later, because that's how, after a while you run out of dance partners on the floor, so you make I didn't know you were like that.
I love Oregon.
Taking the hard way home. Taking the hard way home.
Good job, guys. Good job. Let's give it up for all the people who have been up here so far.
Wow. That guy said something pretty profound. At some point, you're going to lose your dance partner. I think it's time Oregon Oregonians get back on the dance floor and take control of the dance floor. We've let this go on too long. We've let people steal our community, our sense of community and who we are, for too long. So how that happens, I don't know. I'm at a loss. But I'll tell you, I look at that story and I think, that's Oregon. That's where hippies and business people and all kinds of folks come together and they let people be different. It's okay to be different and not think the same way. And somehow we've lost that. And this is not Oregon. That is Oregon. So let's go find Oregon again. Share this on your page. People need to know. We will be off next week, and we'll be back on January 3rd. And we might be doing a couple shows from Montana, but we will be back here at least for another month or so. And then the show's going to take a whole different turn. Still going to focus on Oregon, but we're going to mix it up with some other places. So that's exciting things to be held ahead. So thank you for joining us. Have a great Christmas. We have shows tomorrow night and the next night, but I taped them up ahead of time, so they're on there. But you'll love them. They're really fun, and we'll have that for you. Thank you, Elements Health Club, for sponsoring our show tonight. Thank you, Subdermal Art Collective. And thank you, people who tune in every night to watch. We do appreciate